Okay, so we are, I think, ready to roll here. And give me 1 second. Okay, so welcome to our ambassador training. We are thrilled to have you all on. I want to make sure what we're doing here. Okay. This is our first go, and I get to be the first one to be the guinea pig here, so. Okay, I'm getting some text, so hang on just a second. Be patient with me a second. Stacey, I don't know how to fix it. I thought I did, but we're gonna rock on. So. Okay, here we go. Maybe. All right, Stace, talk to me on my phone. I'm gonna get started, and I don't know that I can change it at the moment. I don't wanna hold you guys up. So my name is Stephanie Huffman. I am a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and we are thrilled that all of you have made the choice to join us tonight. Man, we have so many coming from, if you followed on the event page and you saw all of the people that did the roll call, and they posted where they were coming from. And I know you Canada folks, or it's late for you. It's 10 o'clock, I guess, a little bit after. But hopefully you can hang tight with us, and I can get all this in a timely fashion for you, and we can get you turned loose, and you won't suffer too badly. But anyway, we're excited about 8 weeks worth of training, and let me just give you a quick rundown of what's going to happen. Next Tuesday night, we are in Vegas for our annual convention, and I cannot see myself, and I don't like that because I don't know what you guys are seeing. I see somebody else, so hang on a second. So I just make a video. I'll tell you, I see Jolene Martin is who I see. I don't know who you guys see. And that's the only person that I see. And I'm afraid, Jolene, your beautiful face is going to be on this recording instead of mine, is what my fear is. Not because it's not a pretty sight, just that's going to be kind of odd. So,
hey, you're looking good.
Okay, well, let's see. I guess I'll go on. Can't see myself. Hopefully that's good. Everything's good. Okay. So the next 8 weeks.
We can see you. It's you. We can see you.
Okay, good. All right. Don't know what I look like. I need a mirror or something, right? Okay. Okay, so if you guys will try to keep your, I appreciate the feedback. I really do. I need it. I think I made it to where you could unmute yourself. So if you'll just be cautious if there's noise in the background to keep yourself muted for the recording and all of that, that would be awesome. I appreciate your helping us on that. Okay, so here we go. The next 8 weeks, guess what? Next week, we're going to be in Vegas. I hope a lot of you are going to get to go. It's going to be awesome. If you've never been to convention, you don't even know what you're about to experience, is all I can tell you. It's going to be amazing. So that's what will happen next Tuesday night. And so we will not have our session next Tuesday night, but starting the following Tuesday, which is the 21st of June, we're going to pick up with round 2, and then we will go 7 consecutive weeks with some awesome training. And guess what? You don't have to look at me for all 7 trainings. We've got some other great presenters, and I get to be the one to stumble through this, and they're probably going to have it all down pat because we'll figure out the glitches before they present, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to love each of them. They have great testimonies about our products, and their businesses are awesome, and so you're going to love that. And so I'm excited about that part of this. And so let's move on into our first week of training. You can see there that this is a new Ambassador Training 101 series. And so I'm going to move and tell you what this is going to look like for the next few weeks. Okay, so in week 1, you can see we're going to cover the nuts and bolts, basics, and terminology of Plexus. We're going to talk a little bit about your success guide, your why, goals, and plans of action, creating your Frank's list, building belief, creating a database. And so some of you are saying, oh, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong call. I've already done that. But you don't want to get off, because you might hear something that you've never thought about. As I prepared to talk to you guys tonight, I was like, I never thought of that. So I've done this for almost 4 years, and without a doubt, I can learn something new every time I hear another presentation. So stay tuned. There's something here for you too. And if you're new, you're going to appreciate this training. Week 2, we're going to talk about the products and being a product of the product. Week 3, sharing Plexus and social media, smart and strategic posting. Sometimes that's super, super important. Week 3, we're going to cover resources, Plexus Learning Center YouTube channels, opportunity calls. And then week 4, we're going to talk about events. And then we'll have 4 weeks following that. It'll be a whole nother series. And so you want to stay tuned and not, be connected so you don't miss anything. I think you're going to get something out of this. And so let's go to our next slide here, and let's talk about a few basics. First of all, when you joined Plexus, if you're brand new, hopefully you saw the welcome email from Plexus. And you've saved that, I hope. And if you didn't, then go back and look for it, because it's an important email. And then I want you to consider adding some information. Okay, when you joined, let me see. Can you guys see this? Can you see what I'm holding up? No, you see my screen. So let me stop sharing, because I want to show you something. Okay, now you can see me. This success guide, this little box here, is a miracle tool. I'm telling you, we have done this for almost 4 years. This is the best thing that has come out of Plexus. And if you haven't dared to open it and you haven't taken the time to look through it, let me first start right there and encourage you to do that. If you have been an ambassador for a while and you didn't get one of those when you joined, then you need to be watching your back office. For when those become available to us. You want to be sure to spend the money to get that success kit and that box sent to you right away, because it's just huge. It's amazing the stuff that's in that. So let me go back to my screen sharing, and I want to point out a couple of things in that box. In that box, you have I want to stop. I want to see you guys for a second. Okay, in that box, you got this little book. Let me show you. It's so important. You've got to see it. This is what it looks like. Let's get started. These are the steps and the keys to being successful with Plexus. Okay, in this book, on page 5, there is a place for you to list your ambassador ID, your website, your back office password, your sponsor name and phone number and email. These are so important. This information you're going to need in order for your business to be successful, okay? So I want you to check that out. You also want to check out everything else in that box. It's awesome. All right, so we're going to move on. The purpose of pointing that out is I want you to know there's a place to record your website, your ambassador ID, your password for getting into your back office. I'm surprised at people that I talk to, and I'll say, they want to know, okay, so somebody's interested in ordering, what do I do? And I'm like, you send them to your website, and they don't know their website, and it shocks me. And so there was a breakdown in information being given to them by maybe their sponsor or whoever they're connected to. So your website address, when you joined, you got your own website, and it's awesome. It's already set up, and you want to know what that address is. That's so important. Your ambassador ID, make notes of it in your Let's Get Started book. And So the next thing we want to talk about is, I'm having trouble. Okay, we want to know about logging into your back office. When you log into your back office, there's so much information there, and if you don't learn to utilize that, you're going to feel lost. And so this is so important. When you joined, you set up your username and your password. So if you have trouble, try registering. Enter your ambassador ID, use your ID, and click you forgot your password. You want to do whatever it takes to get logged into that back office. Once you do, you're going to see a screen that looks similar to what you see here, where it says training, and you're going to have that loading bar there that as you finish a video, as you watch a video and you go through the steps, it's going to complete that. So if you're a little bit OCD, you might want that bar to be 100%. So that'd be great. So go through all of those training videos. In your back office, this is where you place your personal wholesale orders. So that's where you get your discount. Some people join this business because they want the best price on their products, right? So this is where you go to place your ambassador order. And so you need to know how to get into your back office. You can view reports there. There's the library with multimedia videos and documents and things that you can read, and it's going to be so key and helpful in your business. You can track your sales in your back office, your team activity. As your back office begins, or as your team begins to grow, you'll track it in your back office. And so this is just basic stuff. You've got to know this. If you're new in the business, you want to know how to get there. Okay, so Stacy, are you scribbling on my screen? Because I'm not doing that. Okay, so here's the nuts and bolts, basics, and terminology. And these are terms that you're going to hear. If you've been in Plexus for a while, you're going to know what these terms are. If you're new, you may be thinking, okay, so what is CQ and what is a joule? I mean, those are just terms that you're going to start hearing if you haven't already. So your PV, when you hear the term PV, it's talking about your personal volume. And that's the sales number that represents our commissionable volume. That's what we get. That's what we get paid on. So you want to know what your personal volume is. That's what PV is. Okay, CQ means commission qualified. There are 3 things that are required in order to be commission qualified. Number 1, you have to have $100 in personal volume go through your website on a monthly basis. Number 2, you need a backup order selected. So that's a monthly auto ship scheduled in your back office. And number 3, you pay your annual website fee of $34.95. So if you're on this call, undoubtedly you've probably already done that step. You've paid the $34.95 to become an ambassador. So you want to be sure, thank you for whoever's taking that off the screen, that's great. The other 2 things, you want to make sure that you have a backup order set up in your back office, because if you don't, you're not commission qualified. You can't be commission qualified. And you want to have $100 each month of personal volume. So your backup order needs to equal at least $100. If you need some clarification on that, we'll get there. Your backup order, I'm pretty much covering the next point. It's an auto ship that we set up as the ambassador to ensure that we're CQ, commission qualified. The default of the backup order, so when you joined as an ambassador, if you'll remember, you set up a monthly order in your in the joining process. And what happens is that order defaults to what we call a conditional backup order. So what does that mean? If you joined Plexus, let's just say you joined on June the 5th, and you set up a backup order in that joining process, and you did not do anything to any date field in that process, that backup order is going to default to the 26th day of each month. And it's going to be a conditional order. Okay, so if you joined in June, your next backup order is going to happen July the 26th. If it's a conditional order, what does that mean? That means if between July the 1st and July the 25th, you have no personal volume. You've had no sales go through your website. You personally have not ordered, and you have not reached $100 in PV. Then that conditional order will process, the product will ship to you and bill your credit card, ensuring that you remain commission qualified. That's what it takes to run this business, okay? If you choose to edit that default setting, you can change that monthly order to be an unconditional order. Basically, at that point, you're telling the system, it doesn't matter to me if I sell $10,000 worth of Plexus products and I have 10,000 in personal volume. I want my order every month unconditionally. That's what those terms mean. If you don't make any change to that, your order is a conditional order, meaning if your friend orders $100 this month before the 26th day, you're not getting your order on the 26th because you already reached $100. Does that make sense? I hope everybody's following me on that. I can't see your faces. But if you have an unconditional order, you're saying, I want it, I don't care. I want my product every month. I don't want to run out. I don't want to think about ordering. So make my order unconditional. So that's a couple of terms there. Okay, your downline, these are ambassadors that join your team. So if an ambassador, someone goes to your website and they click join Plexus and they join us, they are becoming an ambassador and they are your downline. That is different than having customers in your business, okay? Your upline is the person that sponsored you. My upline is my mom, so I joined under her. She's my upline, and I have some others. Deborah may be on this training tonight. She's in my upline, Deborah Lawson, if you've heard her name. So that's my upline. You can see your upline in your back office. There's a place to see who's in your upline. And then your downline you can also see in your back office. What is a jewel? A jewel within Plexus is an ambassador who has reached emerald, sapphire, or diamond ranks. Those are the top 3 ranks in our company. And those are ranks that the corporate office recognizes as leadership positions. So once you attain one of those top 3 ranks, you'll hear the term jewel. Those are jewels within the company, or there's a jewel call. Maybe you hear some rumble of that. Those are emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds within the company. And because of those positions, we're considered leadership within the company. So that term, you'll hear that often. Okay, so you can have an ambassador on your team in your business, or you can have customers. So that's a different kind of situation. You need to know the difference. An ambassador is somebody who joins. A customer who is somebody who shops on your website. They become a customer. They can be one of 2 kinds of customers. They can be a retail customer, which is a customer that simply makes a one-time purchase at their retail cost. So they're going to pay the highest price for the product, but it's a one-time purchase. They get to take advantage of the 60-day money-back guarantee. And then you're going to have preferred customers. Preferred customers are customers that sign up for a monthly auto ship of their products. They get an awesome discount on their products, so you want to know about that. And they also get to take advantage of the 60-day money-back guarantee. And you can take comfort in the fact that as a preferred customer, there's no fees to become a preferred customer. There's no fees to cancel that. And they're not locked into any contract or length of terms. So it's rare that I have a retail customer. If I get to actually have a conversation with a new potential customer, it is rare that they're going to order as a retail. Who wants to pay retail, right? Who wants to pay the highest price on their products? Not many people that I know. Not everybody wants to join my team as an ambassador, but a lot of people will become a preferred customer. And if they know that they have a customer portal where they control whether or not that order continues to come, they get to control turning that order off, then they take comfort in that. And you can assure them as the ambassador that that's exactly what will happen. They can cancel that when they're ready. So that's a great option for your customers. Okay, so talk about when we get paid. We get paid on the monthly, on the 15th of the month for the prior month's activity. So right now we all anticipate and we're waiting on that June 15th paycheck. And that will be for the activity that we had in the month of May. And a lot of times I'll just give you this little heads up. Our company is so amazing that it is not abnormal. They are not obligated to get my paycheck in the bank until the 15th, okay? But there, more times than not, my paycheck is in my account 3 or 4 days early. That's awesome. That's just one awesome perk that you're gonna experience in this business. Then we get paid weekly on Fridays. And what we earn on Fridays is our business building bonuses. And this is something that you get when someone joins your team anywhere on your levels 1 to 4, and they purchase a welcome pack. Every Friday we get paid that business building bonus. So it's awesome. You can get paid 5 times a month with this business. And at one point I added up the weeks and the months that I'd gotten a paycheck every Friday, every 15th of the month, and it was astounding. And so 5 times a month is very generous. Okay, so I pointed out the success guide just a little bit ago, and we're going to talk a little bit more about things that you can find in there. But first of all, let's talk about your why. If you're new in Plexus, you're going to hear this term so much that it's so important to know the why of joining Plexus. Why did you make the decision to become an ambassador? What drove you to that? What was it? My why in the beginning, my why in the beginning almost 4 years ago, was I loved our products and I did not have room for $100 a month in my budget. I just didn't. And that's where I was. I was right around $100 for the products I was taking at that time. And I didn't have that room. So I thought, my why for the moment is for $34.95. What if I got 3 or 4 friends to join me and buy these products? I could almost get my product for free. Okay, so that makes sense to me. That's a good way for me to stay on the products that I love and to defray the cost. So that was my why when I joined 4 years ago. But it's so important for you to know your why. You may not have passion for these products yet. You may not have passion for the opportunity yet because you're brand new. You're just getting your feet wet. How can you be passionate yet? I am about the products because this is part of our life now. And I certainly am about this opportunity because it has changed my family's life. But you may not be there yet, but you have to determine a why. Identifying your why and keeping it in the forefront of your mind will drive you in this business. I'll just be honest. Not every day is a good day. Not every day is roses and peaches and everybody's knocking at my door for Plexus. That doesn't happen every day. So you're going to have some down days. And what keeps you through the hard times, what keeps you through the difficult points in this business is having a why. My why has evolved, and so will yours. Your why may be to get your products paid for. Your why may be that you need $200 a month to defray the grocery bill, right? And whatever that why is, you've got to get it in your mind because that's what will keep you. But I will tell you, you need to dream big and know your purpose for working this business. There's a quote over here that says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. It's not what, but why you do it. So people can feel passion from you and they can feel your heart. And sometimes they won't buy what you're doing, but they're supporting you. They're going to feel that passion and they want to buy into why you're doing what you're doing. That's where some of your support will come from, most of your support. So it's so important to have a why in this business. So the next thing, somebody's unmuted themselves. If you can find the mute button, that's great. That would be awesome. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is goals and writing them down. Okay, so when I was looking at this presentation, I could remember being in school at points and times, and that's a long time ago, but I could remember I didn't like when a teacher asked me to write down goals. I didn't like to do that. And I don't know why that was, but I can remember having that feeling if they would want me to write down goals for whatever, that class or whatever. And I didn't like to do that because goals written down for somebody else to see them, goals written down for you to see them written down, it's sort of a commitment, right? And some of us are afraid of commitment. Some of us are, we find it hard to commit to something that others are going to know I've committed to. And I think maybe that's why. But goals written down, this quote here says, it's a dream, just a dream, until you write it down. Then you have a goal. So if you haven't set some goals for your Plexus business, let's do it, because it will make all the difference. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't like goals back then, but Plexus has sort of changed that for me. I remember in the beginning, just joining Plexus, I printed the compensation summary chart and I put it on my refrigerator. My kids knew it was there. My husband knew it was there. And when I attained the next rank, I would highlight it and I would write the date that it happened. And it was, smiley faces. And it was what drove me to get from becoming an ambassador to becoming a diamond ambassador. I can remember the feeling of highlighting each rank and writing the date and thinking, I did it, we did it, this team, we got there. And so that's an amazing feeling. And so I encourage you to get something written down, to get a goal in mind. And when writing your goals need to align with your why. So if your why is to pay for your products, then your goal for that, you need to write down, I want my products paid for, and that's gonna cost me. What I need for that to happen is probably 3 or 4 preferred customers on the triplex. Your commission on that would be enough to pay for your monthly products. So if that's your goal, if that's your why you're doing Plexus is to help pay for your products, your goals should align with that. So write it down. I need 3 customers this month and I need them to be on the triplex. That aligns with your why. Have short-term and long-term goals, where your short-term goals help you achieve the long-term goal. So write them down and make them SMART. And here's a little way to remember how your goals should look. They should be specific. You should be very specific in what you write down. They should be measurable and attainable. Those seem to go hand in hand to me. They need to align with your why. If you're wanting to make $400 a month, then your measurable and attainable, they need to line up with what your why is. They need to be relevant. In other words, I'm not going to sign up today and say tomorrow I'm going to be Sapphire. That's silly. That's impossible. So it needs to be relevant. It needs to be time bound. You need to go ahead and put a time frame. You need to say by June the 30th, I'm going to be a silver ambassador. By July the 31st, I'm going to be gold. You need to put some goals down, make them measurable, attainable, relevant to where you are, but go ahead and put a time. If you don't put a time on it, will you ever achieve it? Put some boundaries on yourself. And if you get to that date and you missed it, you don't change your goal, you change the timing of that goal. So you're just going to back up that time by a couple of weeks or whatever you think it's going to take to reach the goal. So write it down, get it written down. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is a short-term goal. And this is going to be good for some of you. If you're just getting started and you're thinking, okay, so what should my goal be? How about something like this? To go silver, you need 3 personally sponsored ambassadors to join you. So maybe you say, I want to go silver and I want to achieve $500 in personal volume. Maybe that would be a great first short-term goal. What would this look like? Achieving these 2 goals would yield a total payout of $275 or more, depending on how your customers purchase. Preferred customers would yield an additional preferred customer bonus, so your pay would look a little better. So this is how it would be broken down there on your screen. If you had 3 people join you and they all bought a $100 welcome pack, That's 25 times 3 as a business building bonus, so that's $75. When you do that and you achieve the silver rank, you're going to get your one-time achievement bonus of $100. And then your commission would look like this on your personal volume. Remember that first $99 that you sell through your website is non-commissionable, but $100 to $499, you're going to earn 15% of that in commission. But if you reach that $500 in PV, like we have written down for your short-term goal, that's 25% commission on everything over 100 PV. So reaching and achieving 500 in personal volume would yield you a $100 commission check. It's 25% of 400. And remember to subtract the first 100. So there you're at 275 in your first month. If you made that your first short-term goal, how would that work for you? That would be nice, wouldn't it? I remember my one of my first ambassadors, Ted and Angie may be on this event tonight, but I remember hearing them say that their first check for $250 changed their life. It changed their life. You can watch their Diamond documentary, Angie's Diamond Doc. They were on the verge of foreclosing. They were business owners, and I think she expresses that on her Diamond documentary. And that $250 check changed their life. And so it could change yours too. Okay, here's an aggressive short-term goal. And if you've already been in the business for longer than 30 days and you think, oh, I missed that, you need to still pay attention, because as you bring people into the business, you want to know how to explain to them about going fast start gold. And that would be an awesome aggressive short-term goal. In your first 30 days, you could personally sponsor 3 qualified ambassadors to get you to silver. And then you would train them to also go silver and their team members to go silver. And then you would grow a team of at least 20 ambassadors who bought a welcome pack and have their backup order selected in your first 3 levels in your first 30 days and achieve 500 in PV. Achieving these goals would yield a total payout of about $785. How would you like to see that your first month? So if somebody wants to go for it and go all in, get aggressive with this business, and it's possible. Many, many, many people do this. They've just got their ducks in a row and they're ready to rock this thing. And so if you've missed that 30-day fast start deadline, you want to know this for people joining you in the business down the road. And I'm going to skip the little section there that it breaks all that down. It's broken down there how that would achieve you that kind of money or bring you that kind of money. But we'll move to the next screen just for the sake of time. I know this is going to get lengthy if we don't move. Okay, so let's have a plan of action. Dream big, set some goals, and then we have to take action. Okay, so we've talked about knowing your why. We've talked about setting goals to align with your why. Be relevant, be measurable and attainable, but get them down on paper. Set something up that you know, this is what I'm going for. So your plan of action should align with your goals. Aggressive goals would require aggressive action. So here's some ideas of action. Even if you're not going with the aggressive plan, these are still things that you need to incorporate. Start sharing your excitement and your why. You want to start sharing with everybody that you see, everybody that you know. I guarantee if you don't, somebody else will. And if you wait too long to start sharing, what if somebody else tells them before you do? And you don't want to be in that spot. I've been there. So don't find yourself there. Start sharing right away. Start becoming a product of the product. So you joined and your why is to get your products at the best price. So now you've got to get started on the products and you become a product of the product. You find what products work best for you, what you love about X Factor, what you love about Mega X, what the Slim is doing for you. You figure this out in the beginning and you become a product of the product. Start building belief. And we're going to talk about that just on the next slide or so. So important. You want to make your Franks list and categorize it further. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about business launch events, ordering business cards. Okay, so your plan of action. If you want to have a launch event, a sip and see in your house, if you want to do an online event, There's so many possibilities. You just want to have your neighbors over for a get together and then share a little pink drink with them, right? And tell them what's going on with you. And those are things you can do. Ordering business cards is huge, and you can do this in your back office, and it'll walk you right through it. You type in the information, and they look awesome. I got business cards from there, and if you haven't done that, please put that on your to-do list. That's really important, and then getting those in the hands of everybody you know. Product sample cards, etc. These are things that you do as you start creating your dreams, your goals, and you figure out your why, and now you need a plan to get there. These are things that you do. Okay, so your Frank's list. What is a Frank's list? This is a list that's going to help, there we go. Frank's list is going to help you create a list of names. You're going to hear in our business, it's important to create a list of people that you intend to tell about these products, to tell about this opportunity. You're going to think of people, oh, I think so-and-so would be great at this. I think so-and-so could benefit from these products. And so those names go on a list. Today may not be the day that you contact them, but that name has to be on your list because at some point you're looking for an opportunity to share with them about Plexus. So the Frank's list is going to sort of guide you to creating a list. The F is for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighborhood, kids connections, your service organization, spousal connections. So when you start thinking through the Frank's list, names are going to come to you, names that you haven't thought about in ages. And when you think of those names, they go on your list. Remember, we have products and a business opportunity that can change lives. You're not selling them something that they don't need, right? How many candles can we use in our house? How many pair of sunglasses can I wear a day? How many Tupperware bowls do I need, right, in my house? And so those are all great things, and we all love them. But some people don't see a need for that stuff in their life, but they need our products. People are sick. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and our products are what they are looking for. And on the heels of that, our opportunity will change their life as well. People don't lay in bed at night and lose sleep over how they feel and their health. They lose sleep over how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to send Johnny to youth camp this year? How am I going to enroll my son in baseball this year? That's what people lose sleep over. So you have an opportunity that people need just as desperately as they need our products. How aggressive you are with your Frank's list will align with how aggressive your goals are. So if you're going all in and you're going to be aggressive, then your Frank's list ought to be very aggressive as well. If your goal is to just get the products at wholesale and make enough to cover your products, then don't be overwhelmed with this piece of action. If your goal grows, however, to something bigger, then you're going to want to take this step in your plan of action for sure. Your Frank's list is a living, growing document. Always be adding. Every time you're out and about, if you meet somebody, I have a deal. This little baby right here is always with me. And if I meet somebody when I'm out and about running errands and I strike up a conversation with somebody, you know what I do? I have Facebook open and I have them search their name. I friend that person, and Rachel is going to be one of our presenters this month. And she's going to tell you, or she might tell you, that I met her at the laundromat of all places. I was having to do laundry there because I was living in an RV while I was building my Plexus dream home. And I ran into Rachel, and I did this right here, ended up friending her on Facebook, and now she's a rock star on my team. And so I'm always looking for a way to add people to my prospect list. Analyze your list. And for those who know how Plexus could help them, people that you look at your list and you think, oh, Sally, I know she's got this and this and this. I wonder if these products would help her. Then you want to go search for information about that specific about Sally, and you want to send her information, testimonials that will speak to her directly, that she can relate to. start reaching out, sharing your excitement and hope. Be genuine and sincere as you reach out. People can read you. I'm a people reader, and I can read the phony baloney, and I can read the real deal, okay? And people can do that. Other people can do that. So if you're salesy and you're begging people to buy from you, and if you don't buy, I'm going to starve to death. I mean, they can feel that. So that's not what they want to feel. They want to feel that you have genuinely, if that's how you say it, found a product that you're in love with, that's changing you, that's changing your friends and your family. And if at this point you think, I don't personally know anybody yet, use my testimony. Use the testimony of people on your team, and you share that with people until you have your own. And you be sincere about how these products can help them. Expect no's. You guys, expect it. It's going to happen. Expect people to not respond, to ignore your 10 Facebook posts, and to ignore your private message, and ignore your email. Expect them to respond and say, no, I'm not interested. Expect it. Brace yourself. Don't fool yourself and think everybody is going to be all in with me. They're not. You're planting seeds. And oftentimes, no's turn into maybes, or even yes, I'm ready now. I'm surprised even now, almost 4 years into this. People have been following me for 4 years. I've been friends with them for all my life. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'll get a message. Can you send me something about Plexus? I'm like, you've been watching for 4 years and you just now are asking. Well, the time was finally right for them. Something has come up in their life. They're finally ready. So a no is not a no forever. So be sure to detach your emotions from their response. They aren't rejecting you. They still like you. They just may need more information, or the timing's just not right. And I a lot of times think of when we go to dinner and they walk around and serve coffee. Well, I'm not ready for coffee yet. Do you think that waitress takes that personal and goes and puts the coffee pot up and she says, I'm leaving, they hurt my feelings, they told me no to the coffee? No, she wouldn't be in her business she wouldn't have a job for very long. But what she does is she comes back in about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm ready. Oh, sure, I'm ready now. The time was right. So make sure you detach your emotions from responses that you get. There are so many people desperate, again, like I said a while ago, for our products and opportunity that knows should simply propel you forward to find people who are waiting. You could be the answer to somebody's prayer, okay? So just keep going. We'll learn more about working our Franks list in the 201, which will be after the first 4 weeks when we talk about income producing activity. At least start working on your list and get it ready so that you're ready for that IPA that we will talk about later. Belief doesn't come from success, guys. It just doesn't. It's not the order. Success comes from belief. So first of all, you have to come up with belief in Plexus, belief in our products, belief in network marketing, specifically Plexus. You've got to believe in what we're doing. Then success will follow. So how do you build belief? Belief is the foundation of this business. So we have to start now, building unshakable belief, because this is vital to our success. Building belief, there's only a couple more slides, so I'm trying to talk really fast. I hope you're here still with me. Building belief in Plexus and creating a database of stories. I love this. So this is going to be a little bit of a homework for you guys. Actually we have 2 weeks because we're off next week. So this is something to think about. If you've got a smartphone, you want to take a picture of what's on the screen, this would be something you could work on. So who is ready for this homework, a tangible assignment for week 1 in the nooks and crannies of your life? I realize that so many of you have come on board and you're doing Plexus as a part-time situation. Some of you have the liberty to do it on a more full-time basis, and that's awesome. But let me tell you what, you can find huge success working this business very part-time. If I can talk to somebody and they will give me 4 15-minute segments of their day. How many times do we waste 15 minutes? I'm guilty. You guys, I'm guilty. I can get so distracted with just things that don't matter and waste so much time. We think we're busy, and it's a habit for us to say, I don't have time. That's really a habit. We do have time. I don't think my husband's on the call, but I had asked him to read a chapter of a book, and this morning I said, did you read your chapter? He said, no, I haven't had time to do that. I said, don't say you have had time, because I have seen you do other things. That's not what you chose to do in your time. So he complied, and he quickly read his chapter, and so he made up for it. But we do have time, and I realize we're all really busy, but if you can just find a few minutes a day, you can begin building a Plexus business without a doubt. I know it. And this is what you can do this week. I want to challenge you to listen to 1 or 2 opportunity calls every day. This is building your belief, okay? I want to challenge you to watch at least 1 diamond documentary every day. And these can be found on the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel under the corresponding playlist. So there's a playlist of diamond docs, and there's a playlist of opportunity calls. This will build your belief without a doubt. In the beginning, when I started my journey, I could not listen to enough calls. I could not watch enough videos. I was like a sponge. I was like just soaking it all in. So I challenge you, make it a point. This is not something you have to sit down. This is something you play on your smartphone while you're driving to work. This is something you play on your smartphone while you're taking a shower or whatever, getting ready, ironing your clothes, or doing laundry. Play those opportunity calls. Listen. That's all you have to do is listen. Watch those diamond documentaries every day. That's one of my favorite parts of the week. We get a new diamond doc every week from Plexus. And I love them because it just lets me see a little bit of these people's life. They're real people, me and you. I have a diamond documentary. If you haven't seen it, you want to see it, it's out there. But I love to see a little bit of these guys' life because it just confirms to me these are just regular people, working people. They're stay-at-home moms. They're people that were busted, no money, and this opportunity has changed their life. And so that's how you build belief. That's how you do it. You watch YouTube videos, you watch diamond docs, you listen to every call that's available. And then, I like this part, create a database of stories. This is our last slide, and I'm sorry to keep you guys. Create a database. Start a log of what you're listening to and what you're watching. Get you a notebook, and you write down the date of the opportunity call, and you write down keywords of the testimonies. Did they talk about migraines? Did they talk about digestive issues? Or did they talk about how they had no money? They were bankrupt, and this opportunity sent them a $250 check, and it changed their world. Put it down. Mark down who was that. The Diamond Doc, Sarah Marble, for instance, she was a nurse. She retired to be a stay-at-home mom. Just a key word about that. And what are you going to do with that? You're going to look at your Frank's list, and you're going to go, Sally's a labor and delivery nurse. She would totally relate to Sarah Marble. I'm sending Sarah Marble's Diamond Doc to her. And I'm just going to say, I watched this, and I thought of you today. I thought you would enjoy this 8-minute story of how this unfolded for Sarah. That's what you do. These are plans of action. And so get you a notebook and start listening to calls, watching Diamond Docs every day, and making you some notes so that you have testimonies to share with other people as you're growing your business. Okay, so this is our last slide. So I'm going to stop the share so I can see you guys' face. I want to see what you're thinking. Hang on a second. Are you still there? Yay. Okay. So here we are. We're at the end of our first week, and I'm sorry I didn't want to keep you over 45 minutes, but we were slow getting started because of my ignorance, probably, my technical challenge and whatever. But we've gotten through it. I hope that you've gleaned from it. I hope that it's been encouraging, motivating to you. And I certainly hope that you will start working on the assignments presented to you and the challenges presented to you. And we will see you guys back in 2 weeks on June 21st, same place, same time, different presenter. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to stop this recording. And if you guys want to ask questions or chit chat, then we can do that for a minute. Otherwise, feel free to be done with the call. And thank you all so much for joining. We look forward to talking to you again soon.